Hello, kia ora, g'day. I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast through until Sunday. Let's have a look and see what's going on. Actually, some very large quiet areas this week, but we do still have some rain in the forecast, especially for coastal parts of New South Wales. We've got a large area of low pressure forming out there, and at the same time, high pressure is growing along the southern states in the days ahead as it moves eastwards. So between the incoming southern high pressure zone and the developing Tasman Sea low, that's going to make for some windier, wetter weather coming in for the coastal parts of New South Wales, from especially Sydney up to about Port Macquarie. That area could be seeing some heavier rain. Elsewhere, we've got some tropical downpours, still got that low that's just north of the top end there, producing some thundery downpours, but they are not for everybody. And look at Western Australia, quiet as anything. Maybe a couple of isolated showers in the southeast there, but otherwise not a lot going on. So let's try and break it all down for you, make sense of it. Here is that low still near Darwin, spinning around offshore, producing a few thunderstorms and some rain around there, some heavy falls in the mix. Low pressure in the Tasman Sea, that is growing and getting larger as it moves down towards New Zealand. High pressure southeast of Australia is falling apart, but the next big high is coming on in, and this is a really big high. You can already see the first hint of it with the southerlies that start well south of Australia and go all the way up almost to the top end. So that is a big southerly flow coming through, not necessarily majorly cold, but just dropping the temperatures down a bit. For some of you, lowering the humidity and just keeping the skies still fairly dry. But there will be some showers between that low in the Tasman and the high that's coming on through. So let's make sense of all of that. Here is the high on Tuesday, moving further towards Tassie. Tassie's got a bit of a southeasterly flow, Hobart northwards along that coastline, eastern coastline, a few showers. Similar story in Victoria, southern and eastern areas, seeing the showers. And as you go into New South Wales, you'll see showers developing, turning to some sort of rain, especially lower down, closer to the sea. That's where you've got a better chance of getting some of that rain. Also showers around South Australia, not a huge amount, but if you're lucky, you might be seeing 1, 2, maybe 5 millimetres of wet weather coming in. Hit and miss, not everyone will get it. And just to add on top of some of the other showers you've had lately, still well shy of where you should be though. Elsewhere, the top end, the only other place seeing a bit of rain around on Tuesday. By Wednesday, most of that is offshore. So the top end is looking fairly dry. Look at Western Australia, from the Kimberley all the way down to Goldfields, Esperance, dry. Basically nothing happening. You might see a very couple of showers in that corner, but the main feature, easterly winds moving from central Australia across to the west. That will help lift up your temperatures. On the eastern side though, it's a different story. Rain clouds coming in now. Port Macquarie, down to Sydney, even south of Sydney. You are seeing rain coming into Victoria, especially around the hills and ranges. If you're in the ACT, maybe not very much rain. Clouds thickening up, a few spits coming through for Canberra. Most of that rain is lower down as you go down towards the coastal areas. And a southeasterly breeze, a little strong in some spots, between the sinking low pressure towards New Zealand and the incoming high pressure coming into Bass Strait and Tasmania. Let's go to Thursday. Rain stays in the same parts of New South Wales on the coastal side. Like I say, you only have to go up into the hills, not very far inland, and that rain tapers right off. But we do see a few showers that might spill over further inland, maybe a thunderstorm or a heavier shower in there. Otherwise, the rainfall totals aren't so big inland. They are heaviest on the coastline of New South Wales. Got a few showers for Queensland, not very much though happening there. And again, very dry right across Northern Territory, South Australia, Western Australia, and a large part of Queensland. There's a bit of a change on Friday though, for Queensland in particular. Those easterlies that were blowing right across the country have sort of moved over to the east, and so you're getting them properly right across Queensland. A little breezy here and there, showers on the coastline, but you're seeing heavier rain coming up around Cairns, Port Douglas, heavier falls for you. New South Wales, the rain is tapering off, but again, still some heavier falls around Port Macquarie, further northwards going up towards Brisbane. You might be just getting a few heavier showers coming off the sea here. This is a southerly, so it's not going to be overly hot for many of you. And then the reverse happens down around Victoria and South Australia and Tasmania. Winds get lighter, skies get drier as the high comes in right over the top for you. Westerly winds building up around Perth, southwards, as we go in towards Friday here, because by Saturday, southwest is now for the southwest of Western Australia. Dry elsewhere for the rest of Western Australia, dry for the most part for the Northern Territory, just a few coastal showers in the northeast, but the proper rain around Port Douglas to Cairns. Could be seeing 150 to 200 millimetres in just one day, with a bit of a tropical alignment there coming through for you. Further down the coastline, just the usual easterlies and showers for Queensland, dry inland and fairly warm. And in the New South Wales area, some heavier falls, especially further up around the northern rivers, but Sydney southwards, it's looking quite dry, especially in Canberra, Melbourne, Hobart, Adelaide, and everyone who lives in between. Dry weather for you on Saturday. Our final map for Sunday shows this is the big high pressure system. It is really big. It's in the Tasman Sea here, stretching all the way up to Fiji and Tonga, all the way east of New Zealand's Chatham Islands, so that's east of the international date line, which technically takes it into yesterday. That'll hurt the brain. And then you've got the other part of it stretching out to Western Australia. So that is a really enormous block of high pressure. And the reason why I focus on that is because it just means it's keeping a lot of places pretty dry, pretty settled at the moment, but it also explains the windier easterlies coming into Australia, and as it departs here on Sunday, it drags down hotter airflows out of the central parts, out of the deserts. So Adelaide over towards, sort of central parts of Victoria and coming down to Tassie, you'll start to really feel those temperatures going up further as we go into the weekend. Just lastly, also a tropical storm up here, perhaps a typhoon coming into the Philippines. Once you get north of the equator, of course, these systems go away from Australia, but just interesting to note that that is happening up there at the moment. That's all from me. Have a great week ahead. We'll see you again on Thursday.